New unique items and legendary aspects.
Wow.
New 6 brand new unique items. The Spear. Unique staff. World tier 4. Gain a random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds after killing an elite enemy. Can only occur once every 30 seconds. Oh, this is the new ultra unique. The Spear of Lycander is an extremely rare drop. We wish you luck in recovering from the burning Hell's army. So you get a random shrine effect after killing an elite enemy. It can only occur once every 30 seconds. What's the stats on that? That kind of seemed like a pretty bad. That seemed like I don't know. Did that seem good? Azure Wrath. Oh, we got an old school item making it back, making its way back into Diablo 4. Your core skills have up to a 20% chance to freeze enemies for 3 seconds and deal cold damage to them. Flesh Render, Debilitating Roar, and Bloodhound deal damage to nearby poison enemies. Oh. That could be interesting. Poison enemies, when you use your defensive skills, you deal damage to them. I wonder, this could technically be really strong. Lidless Wall for Necromancer. Lucky hit while you have an active Bone Storm. Hitting an enemy outside of a Bone Storm up to a 5 to 25% chance to spawn additional Bone Storm. After a location, each reactive sacrifice bonus will increase the chance by 25% of the total number of additional Bone Storms you can have with +1. Another legacy item, the Lidless Wall. Eagle Horn for bows. Penetrating shot has a 30 to 80% chance to fire an arrow that bounces off walls and scenery. Hitting enemies from behind with penetrating shot will make them vulnerable for 3 seconds. So vulnerability application and ricochet for rogues, but it's on a bow, not a crossbow. So I wonder if they made adjustments to vulnerability. I wish they would tell you like what stats are on each item. Oh, and one of the most iconic sorcerer items, the Cultist. Gain the effect of the teleport enchantment for free. When you evade using teleport enchantment, you are taken to a random location. Guys, that's a meme, the Oculus. Guys, the Oculus. I played a lot of Diablo 2. Easy, debated. Azure Wrath and Flesh Render unique items have a flat damage effect, which scale of power. For example, 820 item power, Azure Wrath deals 3,359 to 6,718 damage. Hot dang. So, yeah, they brought back a lot of like iconic Diablo 2 items and Diablo 3 stuff. The Oculus, Eagle Horn, Lidless Wall, Flesh Render, Azure Wrath. And then the brand new uber unique is this Spear. And it gains the random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds that kill an enemy and can only occur once every 30 seconds, but you'll probably never get it within your lifetime, like IRL. We also got some brand new legendary aspects, 7 of them. Audacity. When there are at least 5 close enemies, stun them for 2 to 4 seconds. This can only occur once every 20 seconds. That seems strong, especially for leveling. Guaranteed stun for 2 to 4 seconds can occur once every 20 seconds. I think this is a good leveling unique. Craven, you gain 20 to 40% increased movement speed when moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. Okay, that's pretty nice for leveling also. Like that, I wonder where it's gonna drop from. A nice new aspect. A lot of classes have easy sources of slow and chilled. So movement speed when moving away from enemies. How long is the duration for? Is it like a 2-second buff, 4-second buff, or what? Ancestral Charge. Oh, this is one of the teased ones that they did already. We already knew about this charge. Calls forth 4 ancients who also charge healing 50 to 100% normal damage. The one that they showcased was only 50%. I wonder if they didn't have advanced tooltips on, because they showcased this here, right? And it said 50% of normal damage. So Blizzard doesn't actually play with advanced tooltips. Poison Creeper active also casts landslide in a circle around you. Earth skills deal 10 to 20% increased damage to poison enemies. This was also the other one that they showed on the live stream, but it's actually a range. Landslide stocks up. This is actually really good. So every single time you hit your Poison Creeper, Landslide is also cast. Necromancer, Gore Quills, Blood Lance will consume Blood Orbs to also conjure lances from them. Each additional Blood Lance deals 20 to 50% of normal damage and prioritize targeting unlanced enemies. Okay, nice little Blood Lance offensive thing for a Necromancer. Rogue, Pestilent points every third cast of Puncture is poison imbued with 100 to 150% of normal potency. Searing Wards, after spending 200 to 100 mana, your next firewall is free to cast and will destroy incoming small missiles. This Pog for Sorks, you guys like that? Does that make you go crazy? Is that the insane new item for sorceress? You got a firewall legendary aspect. Small missiles. Boys, loading screen updates. We've added more dynamic loading screens with the release of Season of the Malignant. This includes adding more assets to the loading screen, such as your player character. Gameplay updates. Here we go. I think this is where the juice is at. Good changes. Altar of Lilith unlocks are now account-wide. Map discovery is now account-wide. Tree of Whispers will no longer reward sigil dust. Really? That's kind of unusual. So, like, they don't want you crafting. I was like, why'd they nerf that? That was like, that's kind of unusual there. Like, sometimes this was kind of nice when you're just starting out Nightmare Dungeons early on, a fresh start, right? And you just craft some low-level ones. So somehow they made the Tree of Whispers worse when it was already bad. I really hope they buff the Tree of Whispers. I really hope they do. Overall loot quality has been significantly improved for silent chests. Oh, so yeah, your silent keys might be worth using now. The channel time for leave dungeon ability has been increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Wait, why? They're making it take your, what? I'm at a loss of words. I can't speak. My brain's trying to comprehend what's happening. I actually can't speak. Let me get some water. What the fuck are they thinking? Why would they do this? Why would I want to spend more time leaving the dungeon instead of killing stuff in 2 seconds? Hey, there's a lot of things that I could do in 2 seconds, buddy. We have generally reduced the tendency for many monsters to move around in combat so that melee characters don't have to chase down their enemies as much. Okay, this is actually a good change. It's like a lot of range monsters, like the spider boss, right? And blind burrows, like for example, I guess a lot of enemies will just be chilling. They'll be chilling a lot more, so you don't have to chase them around. Succubus, range type mobs. Any mobs that are range that are trying to put distance constantly between you and your character. So a nice melee buff there. Added PS5 DualSense Edge wireless controller support for PCs. POG. World Tier 2 has had the following bonuses added. They increased the bonus gold from 15 to 20%, and monsters now drop 15% more items. We like where World Tier 2 has landed overall, but increasing its reward pace to better align with its difficulty. So a very, very minor buff to drops in gold. Will probably still be more efficient for certain classes or based off like what items do you drop on the seasonal reset to level on World Tier 1. If you're playing like a strong leveling class, a strong build, yeah, if you're able to do World Tier 2 efficiently, you're gonna get some more stuff, so that's good. Level scaling. Oh, this will be interesting. Level scaling inside dungeon. The most overworld territories have been adjusted in World Tier 3 and 4. Monsters will begin to trail behind the players in level after a certain point, up to a maximum of 5 levels behind. This change does not affect world bosses, Legion events, Fields of Hatred, Helltide, or Nightmare Dungeons. We want to give players a better sense of their power, progression, and mastery of the world while still challenging themselves with structured endgame activities. That was their fix? Oh my god. Oh my god. Blizzard. Okay, there has to be more. There has to be more. There has to be more. Okay. Yeah, did they like redo like experience multipliers and stuff like that? Okay, let's look. World Tier 3, for example, the player's level is below 55, the monster level is 55. If the player level is 56 to 60, the monster level is 55. If the player level is 61, the monster level is 56. If the player level is 62, the monster level 57.
Wow.
Yeah, so like overworld stuff that basically is not world bosses, Legion events, Field of Hatred, Helltides will be a lot easier now, and your character is going to feel more powerful, but also less experience from killing those things also.
Wow.
Well, they said only in World Tier 3 and 4 though, right? So that doesn't... This right here doesn't affect stronghold leveling at all yet. Yeah, what are you guys talking about? This is a World Tier 3-4 change. So everything we read so far, strongholds are still intact, right? Strongholds are still intact from what we read. Because this only affects World Tier 3 and 4, and yeah. And then it only affects like non-endgame encounters.
Wow.
But yeah, like, so yeah, you really just probably don't want to stop to kill normal mobs in the overworld, right? Because they're just gonna, yeah, like the reduced experience because your over-leveling stuff is not too good. And World Tier 4, if a player level is below 75, the monster level is gonna be 75, okay? At the player level is 7680, the monster level is 75. This is like pretty straightforward. So yeah, you just want to be doing events, right? You want to be doing events. Experience, reward experience for completing Whisper in the World Tier 3 and 4 has been significantly increased. Nice, Tree of Whispers buff. We have observed that the experience bonus rewarded for killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to the relative challenge involved. We want to reward players, for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together instead of one player killing enemies. Wait, what? No way, boys, they're killing power leveling. Okay. Instead of one player killing enemies while another member of their party is waiting at the dungeon's entrance. What? Man, I never expected to see this in a Diablo game. Power leveling alts it's been around for 20 years, but I guess they are actually adjusting power leveling. I play solo, so this doesn't bother me, but I know a lot of people, they don't like the leveling process on their alts, so they just get boosted to get to the funner portion of the game. So let's read what they changed here. Let's read what they changed. What did Blizzard decide to do? We're adjusting bonus experience rewards for killing monsters that are higher level than the player. Pre-season bonus is 1 level higher, 15%, plus 2 level, 20%, plus 3 levels, 25%. Postseason, 1.5% bonus per level up to 10 levels. Oh, wow. So they basically want you doing harder content. They want you, so if you're level 75, they want you fighting level 85 mobs for maximum benefit. So they're actually slowing down leveling here by reducing the bonus XP values per level. Yeah, so they're slowing down the leveling process here. Minus 13.5% XP. We're also adjusting experience rewards for monster level offsets for higher world tiers. Current world tier level offsets: World Tier 2 up to +3, World Tier 3 up to +10, World Tier 4 up to +100, World Tier 2 up to +3 unchanged, World Tier 3 up to +6, and World Tier 4 up to +10. Oh man, it's a good time to be a solo player, I guess. You're level 1, your friends bring you to World Tier 4 and leave you at the entrance of the dungeon. They start killing level 100 monsters. Prior to seeing the Malignant, you get level 100 monster XP times 1 plus 25% after. You get level 11 monster XP. You get level 11 monster XP. Hey, power level no longer a thing. I didn't think that they were gonna adjust power leveling. We are looking to increase the danger and Helltide's risk-reward gameplay by making the monsters a bit more challenging and the tortured gift of mysteries harder to open. Oh, really? Helltide monsters are now 3 levels higher than the player instead of 2. But it's like this is like experience buffs / danger buff. The tortured gift of mystery chests has had its cost increased to 250 from 175. Oh, really? I didn't think that. That's honestly not a Helltide change that I thought they were gonna make. The real question is why? Why did they make the mystery chests harder to open? Because they thought it was too easy to open before. Well, obviously they thought it was too easy to open. You're gonna in Kekistan, you're gonna definitely struggle to get 6 mystery chests now if you get 6, right? All objectives give Cinder that the balance. And all interactable objects in Helltide zones now have a small chance of dropping aberrant cinders. So they adjusted this because they want us to interact with objects instead of killing monsters. I can tell you this is not what people want to do. People do not want to click every object in the Helltide. They want to smash shit. And it's not even a guaranteed chance that the small chance. Honestly, I thought going to the Season 1 patch with Helltides, they would add more activities to the Helltide. Maybe they would like re-enable strongholds to be taken over. They would add like more like boss type monsters. They would increase density in Helltide because there's just like a bunch of areas where there's no mobs or no elites and stuff like that. This is, yeah, like the changes to Helltide are really weird in my opinion. I guess we'll see like how hard it is to get the 250 aberrant cinders now, and like how often that these interactable objects drop cinders too. Okay, and then we got some balance updates. Oh man, this is where the good stuff is at. Okay, the balance changes. What are we getting? So far, what do you guys think of these changes so far? Like, they killed boosting, so you have to actually play the game. If you die in hardcore and you're playing with your friends, it's gonna be harder to catch up and stuff like that. I could definitely see the Diablo community hating these changes. With Diablo 2, like for doing like rushes, Hellforge rushes, Diablo 3 rushes, I could see a couple of people happy about this and a lot of people angry. I do not see I do not see a lot of positive reinforcement coming from these changes at all. I do not see a lot of positivity. I see a lot of negativity. For me, it doesn't really bother me because I'm a solo player, but yeah, for people that do play in a group or they are, you know, they have a lot of time sensitive stuff in their life, I see them not liking this at all. Okay, so now we're gonna go to class changes, the juice of the patch. The following balance updates apply to both seasonal and eternal realms. So as soon as we log into the game, since they got them patching, it should be active. I'm hoping that they buff underutilized skills. It's not just nerfs, because that's what my copium was. Here we go. Violent swing vulnerability duration increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Furious upheaval damage bonus per stack increase. A little bit of damage bonus there. Okay. Power charge cooldown reduction is now capped to 3 targets for a maximum of 9 of cooldown reduction. Tactical ground stomp fury gain increased from 25 to 40. Enhanced blow damage bonus to bosses increased from 100 to 150%. So like death blow, like a reset, like when you kill an enemy of 1 hit. But yeah, so they buffed the boss damage. Okay. Enhanced steel grasp vulnerability duration increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. This is a nice buff for thorns, bleed build, stuff like that. This is like your form of vulnerability outside of your exploit glyph. Enhanced rupture damage is increased from 30 to 45%. Warrior's Rupture attack speed bonus increased from 20 to 30, and duration increased from 4 to 5. And Fighter's Rupture healing increased from 15 to 8% life. Hamstring now only slows healthy enemies, so enemies that are above 80% life, and slow amount increased from 10, 20, 30 to 20, 40, 60. Wait, is that it for that's it for barbarian changes? This is all the buffs? Cut to the bone bleed damage bonus of vulnerability reduced from 6 to 18 to 5, 10, 15. Okay. Wrath glyph bonus now affects all damage instead of core skills. Okay, so this is like a buff. If you're this is like a buff, right? This is a buff over here. Aspects: relentless berserker aspect, berserking duration increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Bleed build buffed again. Battle mad aspect berserking duration increased from 1 to 2.5 to 2 to 3.5. Brawler aspect damage increased from 1 to 1.3 to 1.5 to 1.8. Aspect of Burning Rage damage increase. This is also a buff for Thorn's build. Aspect of Iron Warrior damage reduction increased from 15 to 25 to 18 to 28. Lacking Aspect Lucky Hit Chance increased from 30 to 50 to 40 to 60. Aspect of Ancestral Echo Lucky Hit Chance increased from 40 to 50 to 50 to 60. And Weapon Master Aspect Lucky Hit Chance increased from 30 to 50 to 37 to 55. Gore's Devastating Grips now explode every 2 seconds or after it ends, and its hit cap has been removed. So that's their fix for Gores before they're overperformed by a massive amount. And Field of Crimson bleeding damage bonus increased from 10 to 15. And that's it. Okay, I honestly, I was expecting a lot more changes for the first patch. I was expecting more adjustments for underperforming skills. This was not the changes I was expecting. Okay, now Druid, our main. This is my favorite class in the game. Let's see what they did to our boy and girl. So Druid, enhanced claw attack speed bonus increased from 10 to 15. That's like a bulwark auto attack build buff. Oh, storm strike damage reduction reduced from 25 to 15%. So that's the defensive nerf slash leveling nerf. They increased boulder damage slightly. Savage trample spirit gain increased from 20 to 40. This is nice for leveling. Prime lacerate healing increased from 3 to 5%. They actually did buff cataclysm a little bit. Lightning damage increased from 60 to 77, and tornado damage from 19 to 23%. Supreme Cataclysm vulnerability duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds, a little bit of a buff. Prime Cataclysm duration increased from 2 to 4 seconds, and we knew it was coming. Prime Grizzly Rage now grant unstoppable for 6 seconds instead of while active. We knew it was happening. They want you to have that visceral, reactive combat experience. They don't want you unstoppable all the time. They want you dealing with the CC mechanics. They want you playing tactically. But Grizzly Rage, Unstoppable, nerfed, we figured this was coming. That's how they kind of like designed the games and stuff like that. So yeah, no more perma unstoppable. Provocation threshold required for guaranteed overpower reduced from 35, 30, 25 to 24, 20, 16. Okay, so this, you can also snapshot this for like, you know, like your hurricane and stuff. Masochistus now also required lucky hit chance of 75%. Prickle Thorn increased from 0.1 to 0.1.5. Iron Feather max life increased from 10 to 14%. Bolster Fortify increased from 10 to 15% of maximum life. Overload damage increased from 0.2 to 0.2.5. Spirit Gliss bonus now affects all damage instead of just core skills. So it's like a boulder buff and stuff like that. So outside of core skills. Okay, aspect of the calm breeze lucky hit chance increased from 5 to 10%, 7 to 12%. Balance aspect maximum spirit increased from 30 to 50 to 60 to 80. Aspect of the tempest damage bonus increased from 7 to 15%, 10 to 18%. Okay, skinwalker the aspect healing increased from 0.5 to 0.1, 0.07 to 0.12. Symbiotic aspect cooldown reduction reduced from 4 to 8, from 3 to 5. Oh, wow, they actually nerfed symbiotic. They don't want people instantly resetting. So this is like a bulwark nerf. This is like trample slide nerf. Yeah, they don't actually want people like resetting their skills by such a large value consistently. So you're gonna need like more cooldown reduction, more ranks of skills. Okay, aspect of the stampede damage bonus increased from 10 to 12 to 16 to 26. Shepherd's damage bonus increased from 6.6 to 8 to 6 to 10. And Satiable Fury Werebear skills increased from 2 to 3. Mad Wolf's Glee. Yes, so unique item buff, but this was actually technically already working this way. There was just a display error. And it wasn't showing that. So technically you're already granted +3 before. And that's it for druids. So yeah, we got nerfs and we expected that to happen. Well, yeah, it's technically not a buff because you were getting +3 before, so you're just still getting the +3, right? Necromancer. Oh shit, Necromancer actually got a lot of changes. Wow. Okay, so either, I wonder what this is going to be. Initiate Decompose Slow increase from 30 to 50. Paranormal Sever cast required for vulnerable reduced from 4 to 3. So that's actually a buff. I was playing that leveling build earlier. Recast apply vulnerability instead of 4. Enhance Blood Surge healing increase. Is there any more changes for classes beyond this or no? But basically like your aware NATO builds and stuff like that are still a thing. They didn't touch... Right, they didn't touch like spirit cost reduction or anything. The only thing they did was make it so you will no longer have unstoppable after 6 seconds. So yeah, like you're gonna get like CC'd a bunch. So like human form leveling builds or just human form builds might be the best now. Necromancer changes now. Paranormal Sever, yeah, enhanced Blood Surge healing increase from 2.5 to 3. Enhanced Blood Lance damage reduction for piercing reduction from 15% to 10%. Okay, Bone Prison, initial essence gain increased from 15 to 25. Aberrant Iron Maiden, healing increased from 15 to 7% of maximum life. Golems move faster and unhindered through enemies when their cooldown is activated. Supreme Blood Wave leaves behind blood orbs earlier in the path. Raise Skeleton, Corpse Explosion, Corpse Tendrilled range for auto-targeting, Corpse on the mouse and keyboard increase. Quality of life bonus, nice. Raise Skeletal Priest bonus damage increased from 20 to 30, and Raise Skeleton Skeletal Priest healing increased from 10 to 15. Passive reduced. Oh, Transfusion Minion healing increased from 15, 30, 45 to 20, 40, 60. Drain Vitality Lucky Hit Chance increased from 25 to 30, and Amp damage increased from 369 to 4812. I guess like more, I don't know. You'll just use a passive if you're using like curse skill early on. Well, the curse skill, they're nice early on, right? Like when you just cast your curse, right? Whatever the minute they're aggro, but then also it like fills up your resource too. Book of the Dead, Necromancer Minion will automatically resummon after respawning during a world boss fight. Skeletal Warrior Defender Upgrade Thorns, inherited increase from 40 to 50. Bone Skeleton Mage upgrade fortify amount increased from 11 to 20. And Iron Golem upgrade attacks required for slam attack reduced from 5 to 4. SN Glyphs bonus now affects all damage instead of core skill. That's like something they change universally across for all classes, I'm guessing. Aspect Splintering Aspect Bone Shard damage bonus reduced from 50 to 100 to 30 to 60. Rip Bone guys. Aspect of Plunging Darkness bonus damage increased from 50 to 100 to 75 to 125. Coldbringer the Aspect Blizzard cooldown reduced from 10 to 8. Aspect of Hungry Blood chance of fire Bloodlance increased from 10 to 20 from 13 to 23. Blood-soaked aspect damage increased from 0.15 to 0.2 and then 0.24 to 0.31. Aspect of Ultimate Shadow damage increased from 0.16 to 0.22. And some value changes. Aspect of the Grasping Vein critical strike damage bonus reduced from 30 to 60 to 20 to 40. Osseous Gale Aspect Bone Storm duration increased from 4 to 8 to 5 to 10. Aspect of the damage bonus increased from 30 to 40, 40 to 50. Okay, there's some bonuses. Bloodbath, Aspect Echo, damage reduced from 7 to 60, 60 to 50. This is like the Blood Surge replicate ability, I believe. Right, so like when you cast your Blood Surge, it casts it again. So this is technically a buff. So it doesn't hinder your extra Blood Surge as much. It's like the Reanimation Skeleton damage bonus increased from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and Bloodless Scream Essence gained increased from 2 to 5 to 7 to 10, and Deathless Visage damage increased from 0.25 to 0.35 to 0.28 to 0.38. Rogue. Advanced rapid fire duration increased from 3 to 5. Caltrop cast speed increased. Enhanced cold imbue lucky hit chance increased from 30 to 40. Enhanced smoke grenade damage increased. Methodical dash maximum cooldown reduction increased from 3 to 4. Concealment stealth duration increased from 4 to 5. Enhanced dark shroud chance not be consumed increased from 10 to 14. Supreme Death Trap cooldown reduction increased from 10 to 12 seconds. The Rogue, they didn't really change much for Rogue. Victimized lucky hit chance increased. Siphoning strikes now also require the lucky hit chance to 75. Rugged damage reduction against damage over time effects increased. Mending obscurity, healing per second while stealth increased from 369 to 4812. Aftermath energy restored increased from 2550 75 to 3060 90. Combat glyph bonus now affects all damage types instead of core skills, and Eldritch Bounty legendary node duration increased from 6 to 9. Preparation ultimate cooldown reduction increased from 4 to 5. So okay, but buffed again. Aspect of volatile shadows damage bonus increase. Icy Alchemist aspect chill increased. Shadow Slicer aspect damage increased also. Toxic Alchemist damage increased also. Vengeful aspect lucky hit chance increased. Aspect of duration increased from 5 to 9. Aspect of stolen vigor and healing increased. Aspect of lethal dust life on kill duration increased. Aspect of Noxia's ice bonus damage increase. Aspect of elusive menace dodge chance increase. Sky Hunter energy gain from 15 to 25 to 20 to 30. Grasp of Shadow lucky a chance increase too. Wow, so it seems like Rogue's in a pretty good spot then. Everyone going Rogue now. Okay, I wonder if they're doing big Sorc changes. I know a lot of people were hoping for the big Sorc changes, but Sorc enhanced charge bolt damage increase from 24 to 30. It now benefits from skill ranks. Destructive charge bolts damage reduction increased from 20 to 25. Destructive incinerate damage reduction increased from 20 to 25 also. Firebolt initial damage increased from 10 to 18. Wizard's firewall maximum increased mana regeneration increased from 25 to 35. Wizard's Blizzard core skill mana cost reduction increased from 10 to 20. Supreme Deep Freeze cooldown reduction increased from 50 to 100. Did they actually? I'm surprised that they didn't change more for Wizards though. Just read the patch notes. Seems like they nerfed so much. That's what they said. They said this year, the patch notes will be a lot of nerfs. Passives, Elemental Dominance now affects Mastery skill instead of core skills. Potent Warding duration increased from 3 to 9. Protection Barrier duration increased from 2 to 3. Align the elements damage reduction per second increased from 123 to 369. Mana Shield damage reduction increased from 5, 10, 15 to 7, 14, 21. So they buff like defenses. I don't really play too much Wizards, so I don't know about that. Devouring Blades, I know, is like one of their big sources of the damage, right? So, oh, they actually reduced it. Devouring Blades, a bonus critical strike damage reduced from 10, 20, 30 to 7, 14, 21. So, yeah, they actually reduced the bonus of Devouring. That's a pretty big nerf there. And then Devouring Blades bonus critical strike damage to immobilized reduced from 25, 50, 75 to 10, 20, 30. Yeah, I can see the Wizards fuming about this. Sorcs are probably not very happy about this at all. I don't think this is the changes Sorcs were really looking for at all. Like, I think Sorcs were looking for a lot of buffs. They're looking to see some of their core class issues adjusted, not them nerfing their damage bonus from Devouring Blaze. Fiery Surge mana regeneration increased from 10, 20, 30 to 15, 30, 45. Destruction Glyph now affects all damage instead of just core skills. Well, we could be getting a lot more character power from the Malignant Hearts. So maybe if there's actually a legit reason why they nerfed some of these things so much. I don't know. That's just copium, right? That's copium. Enchantment chance to form crackling energy increased from 10 to 14. Frozen Orb and enchantment chance to be cast increased from 20 to 30. Incinerate enchantment cooldown reduced from 18 to 14. And Hydra enchantment mana threshold reduced from 30 to 20, or wait, 300 to 200. And they did some things to aspects. I don't really know too much about Wizard. I don't play them that much. Mana cost reduction increased from 10 to 20 to 15 to 25. Aspect Armageddon damage increased from, they buffed some multipliers there. Wait, Hydra duration reduction reduced from 30 to 20 to 20 to 10. Okay, Glacial Aspect. Ice Spike damage bonus to Frozen reduced. So this is like the Blizzard build that people were using, right? Glacial Aspect, Ice Spike's damage increased from a little bit too. They reduced and then increased some stuff too. Aspect of Frozen Tundra, Ice Spike's damage increased. Aspect of Frozen Wake, Ice Spike's damage increased. Aspect of Budding Cold, chance to apply vulnerability to frozen enemies increased also. Encased Aspect Life and Mana Restore. Stable Aspect chance for a free cast increase. Aspect of Splintering Energy chance to spawn additional Lightning Spear increase. An Aspect of Unbroken Tether chance for additional Chain Lightning chains increased too. And they did some item adjustments too. Critical Strike chance from movement increased from 15 to 25 to 20 to 30. Increased from 10 to 15. I don't think this is the changes Sorks wanted, right? They wanted like some core issues with their class adjusted, like enhancement stuff, survivability things, like armor values, like Paragon board stuff, like buffing underutilized skills, buffing up some fire skills maybe. Yeah, they didn't show Sork much love, huh? Did they address resist? No, they didn't address resist at all yet, but I think they said that was going to be later on. Okay, so is that all the bad news, or is there more? Let's keep on going, I guess. Aspect of Disobedience, maximum stacks reduced from 10 to 60. Bro, I knew it! I literally called it! I said too many builds use this, they're going to nerf it, but I said once they fix resist, they didn't fix resist, they just nerfed it straight up before fixing resist, I'm guessing. Bro, they actually did it. Okay. Aspect of Disobedience, maximum stacks reduced, reducing max bonus armor from 20 to 50 to 15 to 30. That wasn't a tough call. I know, I wish, rewind to the start of the stream. You guys said no way they do that. I said, watch, they will. But I thought they would touch resist first, but they just didn't give a fuck. They just nerfed it. Well, yeah, it's still gonna be used, but yeah, it's just gonna grant you less bonuses, less survivability. Also, like the changes to mobs in open areas and stuff like that. You're gonna be doing higher level dungeons to get more experience, so you're going to be in a lot more danger, right? Between change that we've seen to armor, change that we've seen to unstoppable, change that we've seen to experience, you're going to want to do higher level activities to get the same amount of experience, right? Also, in addition to this, Aspect of Retribution bonus damage to stun enemies reduced. Exploited Access Aspect bonus damage to unstoppable reduced also by 10%. And Starlight Aspect Resource Restore increased from 10 to 20 to 20 to 40. They also did some changes to the Butcher's Cleaver. 40 to 75s, and now changed to 61 to 75. So smaller range for your effect there on Butcher's Cleaver. That's technically a buff. Also, drop rate adjustments. Increased bonus to drop ancestral and sacred items in nightmare dungeons from +5 to +10. So yeah, I guess that's good. Removed a 20% chance to drop an extra equipment item from elite monsters outside of nightmare dungeons and hell tides. They really want you doing hell tide the nightmare dungeons. Then they don't want you doing normal dungeons or open world stuff. I'm guessing this also affects the PvP zones also in the game. Well, yeah, strongholds are in the open world, so it's like that would affect it also, right? Increased chance to drop an extra equipment item from elite monster and nightmare dungeon and hell tides by +10%. So more rewards from Nightmare Dungeons and Hell Tides, and then Nightmare Dungeon now have a 50% chance to drop a second legendary item upon completion. And then Nightmare Dungeon now give 3 rare items upon completion, up from 1. They didn't touch drop rates though as you progress through higher tiers, right? So nothing yet for increased rewards for doing harder content. But yeah, they are making like Nightmare Dungeon rewards even better than what they are, and the end of the completion stuff better too. Monsters increase monster HP scaling from 85 to 100, bonus per extra player in the party. So a little bit of a group play nerf, right? Groups are gonna have to work a little bit harder, and maybe they're gonna try to incentivize people to stay together instead of split farming. This is like a split farming meta nerf. Miscellaneous adjusted the scaling of the greed chime to improve its effectiveness throughout the game. World bosses now drop potions more often, and there is no longer a limit to how many materials you can refine into higher materials at once. So yeah, before it was like 20 at a time, and now there's not a cap anymore. Item affixes. Okay, many affixes are too efficient and are out. Oh shit! They're adjusting affixes. Oh well, I'm not gonna look, but vulnerability definitely getting slapped here for sure. Many affixes are too efficient, outshining alternatives. We're looking to refine the outliers, improve the number of meaningful choices on competitive slots, and increase the overall flexibility of items. We know these changes will reduce the total amount of possible power a character can possess. So we'll be monitoring how these changes affect players' ability to conquer expected milestones throughout the season. We're increasing the availability of affixes below to make them easier to include on different builds. Here we go. Control and parry duration reduced can now appear on Pan. Barrier generation can now appear for all classes. It will also begin dropping later in the game. Lucky hit chance while you have a barrier can now appear for all classes, reduced by 12%, one on helm and 20% on amulet or offhand. Mastery skill damage newly added can appear on sorcerer or weapon scales identically to core skill damage. And resistance to all elements can now appear on shields. All resist. The core stat bonuses on weapons has been overperforming, so we're pulling back this bonus. Oh, strength 50% stronger one on weapons to now 25%. They just did everything across the board here. Dex, same exact thing. Intellect, same exact thing. And willpower, same exact thing. So more nerfed player power. Core stat, cooldown reduction affixes often felt mandatory due to their raw power. We imagine cooldown reduction will remain a highly desirable stat, but the penalty for not prioritizing it won't be as harsh. That's their reasoning? No, the game's more fun with more cooldown reduction because you get to use your cool shit more often. What the hell is this, boys? What the hell is this? Cooldown reduction reduced by 30%, imbuement skill cooldown reduction reduced, and trap skill cooldown reduction reduced also. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, people like to use their skills more actively instead of waiting around for cooldowns, you know? There's the rogue nerfs. Yeah, rogues end up getting a little nerfy here, along with some other characters too. Cooldown reduction just reduced by a flat 30% now. We're seeing critical strike damage and vulnerable damage often viewed as a hard requirement for build success in Diablo 4. We believe this is a step forward, allowing more builds to flourish, and will continue to make changes in support of this goal. Critical strike damage reduced by 17%. Lightning critical strike damage reduced by 17%. Critical strike damage of bone, earth, imbuement, and werewolf skill reduced. And vulnerability damage reduced by 40%. Holy shit, boys. Holy shit. That's a lot of power reduction. That's a lot of power reduction. Hey, I saw on the forum, I saw on Reddit, people wanted stuff to be more challenging. You want to know what they did? Instead of making things harder, they just reduced your character power so you're not as good. It's exactly what people were asking for on the forums on Reddit. This is exactly what people were asking for. This is what people were crying about on the forum. They said they want the game to be harder. It's too easy, right? That's what all the YouTube videos were about that people were doing.
Wow.
Man, shut up. Bro, this is exactly what people were saying. They said they want the game to be harder. Here it is. Disparities in inherent affixes can roll some weapons out before the rest of their stats are even rolled. These are received harsher reduction than their normal affix counterparts to increase weapon flexibility. Oh wow, more adjustments to implicit modifiers. Cooldown reduction on offhand reduced by 35%. Critical strike damage on swords reduced by 50%. And vulnerability damage inherent on crossbows reduced by 65%. Damn. And yeah, crossbows pretty much were the only choice for most rogue builds because vulnerability damage was so strong. So maybe people will actually play bow build instead of crossbow skills. Vulnerability was very, very good, yes. Vulnerability was very, very good. But yeah, you're definitely going to feel a pretty significant reduction in your character power. Developer note, damage bonus to crowd control enemies with overperforming relative to the ease of activating it versus stricter crowd control types. Oh, damage to frozen enemies increase? Hey, there's a wizard buff, a sork buff. but damage to crowd control enemies decreased by 30%. So this is like for like Druid specifically, right? Like when you apply an Earth skill, it always slowed, and then you would have that implicit multiplier there. So yeah, they just like, they reduce the damage to CC effects because it was too easy to achieve. But then this is also what a Sorc nerf via the crowd control. Developer notes, we have seen that skillful players are frequently slaughtering monsters many levels above their own. We want to support this, but the current situation is beyond what we believe is correct for long-term health of the game. The Chase's goal, we're shifting power to many offensive affixes from defense affixes. We know this will make our endgame content more deadly, particularly for those chasing our pinnacle boss. An encounter not meant for the faint of heart. Overcoming the pinnacle boss will take every ounce of grit you can muster and all tools at your disposal. We will continue to evaluate feedback from the community and make changes to our combat mechanics. Physical damage increased 25%. Fire damage increased 25%. Cold damage increased 25%. Lightning damage increased 25%. Poison damage increased 25%. Shadow damage increased 25%. Non-physical damage increased 25%. Physical damage over time increased 40%. Fire damage over time increased 40%. Shadow damage over time increased 40%. Damage with 2-handed blue gene weapon increased by 25%. Damage in human form increased. Damage while in shapeshift form increased. Blood skill increased. Bone skill increased 25. Brawling skill increased 33. Companion skill damage increased. Conjuration damage increased. Cutthroat damage increased. Darkness 25%. Earth skill 25. Frost skill 25. Imbued 25. Okay, so they just hit everything like 25, 33%. Total armor also reduced by 30%. Damn, so disobedience, armor scaling, reduce. They didn't actually fix resist, but that's huge. Attack speed for 4 seconds after dodge and attack increased 20%. Oh my goodness. Wow, wait, there's more. Wait, guys, there's more. Damage for 4 seconds after dodge and attack increased, but they also nerfed total armor while in werebear form by 25%. They nerfed total armor while in werewolf form by 25%. They nerfed damage reduction for close by 20%, damage reduction from distance by 20%, damage reduction for enemies that are bleeding by 25%, damage reduction for enemies that are burning by 25%, damage reduction from enemies that are poisoned by 25%, damage reduction from enemies that are affected by shadow over time by 25%, and damage reduction while fortified by 25% also. So there's not really as many buffs, is there? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, they said there was going to be a lot of nerfs, and they were not joking. They said there's a lot of nerfs, and they were not joking. I expected adjustments. I knew there was overperforming things. I didn't think they're going to slam into so many things so hard. I didn't think they're going to hit like defenses and like people's damage this hard and some scaling stuff. But that was like one of the largest criticisms, right? In people's YouTube videos on Reddit, is people said the game was too easy. They wanted to be challenged more, and that's exactly what they did. They nerfed people's damage output. They nerfed people's survivability. They didn't really add too many legendary aspects or uniques or anything else like that. How you guys feeling about the patch? You guys excited for the new season, or what's going on over here? I feel like they did a lot of nerfs, but they didn't adjust a lot of core issues with the game. I don't know if you guys feel the same way or not. They did a lot of nerfs, but they didn't adjust a lot of core issues. Yeah, we gotta check some other things out also. Season of the Malignant coming soon. Oh, these are all the new Malignant items, huh? It's gonna be interesting. Hardcore mode is actually gonna be extremely interesting. Like trying to survive in hardcore mode. Is going to be extremely interesting. Okay, so let's look at some of these Malignant Hearts. So there's 32 Malignant Hearts. Critical strikes, electrically charged enemy. for 0.75 to 2.5 seconds, causing lightning to arc between them and any other charged enemies, dealing 68 to 136 lightning damage. Vicious offensive world tier 3 every 5 seconds while above 60% life. Core skills cost 68 to 51 life instead of your primary resources. Skills that consume life deal 10 to 20% increased damage. So skills cost life instead of resources every 5 seconds and deal increased damage. Tempted Vicious Offensive World Tier 3, you gain 40 to 60 critical strike damage, but your non-crit strikes deal 20 to 15% less damage. Lionheart, you gain 10% barrier generation. You heal 3 to 7 life per second while you have an active barrier. More barrier generation and heal. This is Keen Blunt Weapon. Yeah, basically Keen Blunt Weapon, yeah. Revenge, 10 to 20% of incoming damage is instead suppressed when you use a defensive, subterfuge, or obviously your all suppressed damage is amplified by 250% and explodes, dealing up to 1360 to 2040 fire damage. Prudent Heart, Brutal, you become immune for 2 to 4 seconds after you lose more than 20% life in a single hit. This effect can only occur once every 110 seconds. That seems pretty good defensively. You become immune if you get hit by an ability for 20% of your life. Determination, resource draining effects are 40 to 50% less effective. In addition, gain 3 to 8% increased resource generation. Retaliation, deal 510 to 680 fire damage to surrounding enemies whenever a crowd control effect is removed from you. The calculated, after spending 150 to 200 of your primary resource, your next attack stuns enemies. Cycle through a malignant bonus every 20 kills. Oh, that's the one that they showed in the little dev post. So we knew about this one already. Core and basic skills have a chance to restore your resources then every 21 seconds. Gain a barrier, absorbing 85 to 102 damage. Creeping Death, Wrathful, Super, your damage over time effects are increased to 30 to 40 for each different crowd control effect you have on a target. Unstoppable monsters and staggered bosses instead take 110 to 130% increased damage from your damage over time effects. The Barber, Wrathful, critical strikes and all subsequent damage within 2 to 4 seconds is absorbed by your target. Then the absorbed damage erupts onto surrounding enemies. Stored damage is increased by 10% per second. Oh, that seemed pretty good. Basically damage stacking, and it gives you some more AoE. Focused Rage, Vicious, after spending 100 to 60 Fury within 2 seconds, your next non-basic skill, critical strike chance, is increased by 20 to 30. Resurgent Life, Brutal, while above 40 to 60 life, you receive 50 to 60% more healing from all sources. Punishing Speed, your skills have a 20 to 30% chance to knock down all enemies for 1.25 seconds when that skilled attack speed is higher than 30 to 20%. Ignoring Pain and Coming damage have the 5 to 15% chance to be ignored and instead heal you. Wrathful, so a chance to ignore damage and heal you instead. Druid specific Malignant Heart, kills have a 5% chance to summon a wolf companion to your side for 20 to 30 seconds. In addition, gain +3 to wolves with like a leveling ability, I guess. The Agitated Winds, Brutal defense with when 8 to 13 close enemies automatically cast Cyclone Armor. This cannot occur more than once every 10 to 20 seconds. Well, so like the active ability to push stuff back happens automatically every 10 to 20 seconds? That's OP. What do you mean it's OP? Guys, how many times in the game is there 8 to 13 enemies around your character? It automatically casts Cyclone. I'm guessing it's on active ability. It's not the damage reduction portion of it, right? Up to 30 to 50 distant are pulled towards you while you have an ultimate skill active. Oh, like a grouping ability. Okay. This one actually seems pretty good. If you have your ultimate skill active, like Cataclysm, it'll automatically group stuff for you. So this one's actually pretty cool, this utility one for grouping things up, right? When you are hit with a stun, freeze, or knockdown effect, there's a 40 to 60% chance to automatically activate Grisly Rage for 3 seconds. And that'll grant you Unstoppable 2 still, right? So it's a chance to proc when you're CC'd. Not guaranteed, though. So this will be kind of nice, right? Because they already nerfed Unstoppable. Yeah, because they said, what you can call it? They said Grisly Rage now grants you Unstoppable for 6 seconds on activation now, right? So when this procs, Grisly Rage will be active for 3 seconds, but the Unstoppable portion should be active for 6. Or will the Unstoppable be removed after the Grisly Rage, after after the Grizzly Rage is procced. Right, so Grizzly Rage doesn't have perma unstoppable. It's only active for 6 seconds. So what I'm asking, this said when you're hit by a stun for either knockdown, there's a chance to activate Grizzly Rage for 3 seconds. That means that would activate Unstoppable. How long did it last? 6 seconds. What do you mean 6 seconds? God, what are you talking about? I just said it lasts 6 seconds. So it should make you unstoppable for 6 seconds, even though the duration of the Grizzly Rage buff is only 3 seconds. Or was it up to 6 seconds? Or is it just going to drop after 3 seconds? Necromancer, walking near a corpse automatically activates an equipped corpse skill every second, dealing 40 to 30 reduced damage. Yo, that actually seems cool. Walking near a corpse automatically casts a corpse skills. Not good. Wouldn't this constantly cast like corpse tendrils? Because corpse tendrils doesn't consume the corpse, right? Like corpse tendrils, when you activate corpse tendril, that doesn't consume the corpse. So this would just automatically cast corpse tendril on the corpse and not consume it. Corpse tendril had the CD. Yeah, I wonder if it's based off your CD or not, or it just goes burr. Imagine if it doesn't observe like corpse tendril CD and just activating all the time. Necro auto bomber. Yeah, it could be like an auto bomber build. You're just auto bombing everything. The decrepit aura, when at least 5 enemies are near you, gain an aura that automatically curses surrounding enemies with decrepify for 5 to 15 seconds. Frozen terror, up to a 10 to 20% chance for inflicting fear for 2.5 seconds. Feared enemies are chilled for 20% every second. Each minion drains 1 to 2% essence per second, but deals 50 to 75% increased damage with no minions. The bonus applies to you and drains 5 essence per second. Rogue, lucky you have up to a 20% chance to launch 3 stun grenades that deal 26 to 32% physical damage and stun enemies for 0.5 seconds. When using a subterfuge skill, leave behind an unstoppable shadow decoy trap that taunts enemies. The shadow decoy trap will explode after 6 seconds, dealing 680 to 1020 shadow damage. Cannot occur more than once every 5 seconds. Nice. Up to a 20% to 40% chance for your cutthroat skills to slow over 40%. And notice that the Wrathful one, your attacks have a 5 to 15% chance to apply all imbuement effects at 40 to 50% of normal potency. That seems like pretty good, huh? Talrashas, for each unique element you deal damage with, you deal 7 to 12% increased damage for 3 to 10 seconds. Okay, so like spell weaving. After taking elemental damage, gain 20 to 40% resistance over 5 seconds. Wait, they gave you guys more resist? Nice. Spite, when you're afflicted with a crowd control effect, there's a 20 to 40% chance that the same enemy and enemies around you are also afflicted with the same effect. Omnipower. Core skills that launch a projectile consume all of your mana. For every 45 to 35 extra mana consumed, you launch an additional projectile and the damage is increased from 30 to 50. Cage hearts cannot be traded between players. Do you want hearts to feel like an achievement for slaying challenging malignant monsters? However, jewelry containing malignant sockets can be traded to ensure there are multiple sources for jewelry with malignant sockets that correspond to the cage heart players. Oh, not there. Okay, let's look at the rest of the damage. Accessibility made various improvements from an accessibility perspective, primarily many fixes to the screen reader where it failed to read specific elements. Challenges fixed multiple issues where specific challenges wouldn't provide the proper rewards or could not be completed. Hey, Pez, I found a grammatical error. Fixed multiple issues where certain challenges could be progressed through unintended means. Fixed multiple issues where players could gain progress for certain challenges through the actions of other nearby players. Fix multiple instances where activity that should count towards the criteria for some challenge were not counted. Fixed an issue where players would not receive notifications for when one of their friends completed the challenge. Fixed an issue where feat of strength were not accounted for when calculating challenge completion percentages. The feat of strength final slayer of the first mother now requires you to slay the level 100 pinnacle boss solo. The Silence's hellish challenge remains unchanged. Oh! No more carries for pinnacle boss achievements, boys. You can no longer pay for carries for the game. You have to actually do the boss yourself. So if you didn't do Lilith before this patch, you're gonna have to learn to do it solo and not fix an issue where the feat of strength, one of the first and earliest experience, did not display all titles their reward. They also did some cooperative play changes, so let's see what these are real quick. Fixed an issue where the camera wasn't functioning properly when players were far apart in local co-op. Fixed an issue where NPC conversation box would overlap with multiple local co-op. Players talk to the same NPC at the same time. Fixed an issue where Rogue's inner sight would only fill up for one of the players in a co-op session. Fixed an issue where Dark Potential Challenge would be granted to both players when either player completed it regardless of other player progress. There's a lot of words they already used, and guys, we haven't even got to balance changes yet. Is the entire patch just bug fixes? I hope not. Fix multiple instances where quest progress would not properly synchronize or quest progression could be blocked for local co-op players. And fix multiple issues that occurred during cutscenes for co-op players. Okay, so they have a bunch of dungeon adjustments too, or bug fixes. So let's see what these are. Fix an issue where players would not be able to receive enough animus to progress through Hollowed Ossuary Dungeon. Oh. Fix an issue where the stone carving in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon would duplicate. Fix an issue where the monster regen affix and nightmare dungeon would also affect structure in that dungeon. Fix an issue where the goatmen and shambling corpse enemies would continuously respawn in the Forsaken Quarry dungeon. Fix an issue where the sentinel enemies would not have weapons in the Bastion of Faith dungeon. Fix an issue where Bastion of Faith dungeon could sometimes not be completed. Fix an issue where the player could respawn behind a barrier in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon. Fix an issue where the map for the Crusader Cathedral dungeon was incompleted. Fix an issue where the Curse of Indolence and the Curse of Weak would stack even if the player was dead in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon. Fix multiple instances where the fog door could not be progressed through some dungeons. Fix an issue where the monster Thorn Affix and Nightmare Dungeon was reflecting physical damage will now properly reflect non-physical damage. Fix an issue where Blood Boils would not properly spawn in Korjagon Barracks. Oh, finally! Sometimes you wouldn't be able to complete your dungeons here. Fix an issue where Trapped would deal more damage than intended. Yeah, Trapped would do more damage than intended in dungeons. Fix an issue where level scaling level 100 Pinnacle dungeon was inconsistent. And then fixed an issue where the Awakening Glowstone wouldn't spawn if the party leader left the dungeon before the dungeon was completed. So there's random various bug fixes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to the class adjustments now. We made some predictions of what were going to happen. We said Grizzly Rage, Shred Double Dipping fix. They're going to fix Bulwark. They're going to fix the Hoda bug, aka Barbarian nerf, Bleed stacking fix, Necromancers, nerfing like Bone Spear, Bone Spirit. There's like some Hydra bug. We thought they're going to fix it, reduce Blizzard power, Bursting Venoms fix, and some buffs over here. So let's see if they actually do any of the things that we predicted. Like, are they going to balance glyphs, passes? Are they going to buff underutilized skills? Are they going to overhaul Sork or Necromancer a little bit? Are they going to increase Elite Density and Nightmare Dungeon like they said they're going to do? Are they going to tune any endgame features? They're going to buff world bosses. Gameplay. Fixed an issue where the number of enemies to defeat for the Barbarian Class Quest Master battle is not displayed. Oh, it's actually just random bug fixes, okay? Fixed an issue where Iron Maelstrom could be cast more than 3 times rapidly, casting Warcry. Really? Fixed an issue where Iron Maelstrom can cast more than 3 times rapidly, casting Warcry. Interesting. Fixed an issue where stacking Berserker, Ripping, Skullbreaker, and Anenema Aspects could allow the player to deal extreme amounts of damage. So this is actually the bleed fix over here. This is we figured that was going to happen because they're doing an insane amount of damage, right? Fix an issue where the outer edge of the quakes granted to Hammer of the Ancients via the aspect of Ancestral Echoes was dealing far more damage than intended. There it is, the Hoda nerf. We recognize this adjustment as a significant decrease the Hammer of Ancient Barbarian build, but we do not want its strength to be reliant on an underlying bug. So they buffed Hoda to compensate for the bugged aspect, right? Or did they just reduce the power of Hoda and not give it any buffs? Surely they buffed it because they recognize that they nerfed it because they were doing too much damage for a bug. I don't see that they buffed anything, so we're just going to say they just nerfed it and they said deal with it. Nice. Druid, uh-oh. Here we go, boys. Our main character. Should I get the lube out? Should I get the lube out? Here we go. Fix an issue where Earth skills and the Pulverize skill would consume 2 overpowered buffs simultaneously. So that's actually like that's actually a buff. Fixed an issue where the bonus effect on Bloodhowl from Night Howl aspect would apply twice to Wolf Companion, but not for Ravens. Okay. Fixed an issue where the provocation passive stacks wouldn't update properly after adding more points to it. Okay. Fixed an issue where the automatic transformation from Insatiable Fury would cause the Earthsign Strength Keystone passive to not proc consistently. That's your chest, right? Your unique chest. Fixed an issue where the enhanced pulverized buff would not remove itself while in town. Fixed an issue where seeking tornadoes produced by Storm Chaser's aspect would not deal damage. That's a buff, right? That's a buff. So sometimes tornadoes abilities wouldn't actually do damage, so they fixed it to actually deal damage. Fixed an issue where Raven passive damage did not improve after the skill was upgraded. Pet buff a little bit. Fixed an issue where Raven would deal no damage while standing very close to an enemy. That happens for a lot of skills in the game. If you're standing too close, sometimes they just don't do damage. Fixed an issue where Stormclaw aspect allowed Shred to do extreme amount of damage. So Stormclaw aspect nerfed, Shred Drew nerfed. Wait, but they didn't actually nerf Grizzly Rage. Or is this just a bug fix? Is there more? Okay, let's keep on going down. Okay, there's more. Okay, there's more. Okay, we'll keep on going. Okay, so they fixed a lot of the bugs that we thought they were going to fix. They fixed some other things that weren't working correctly, so that's fine or whatever. Shred Druid obviously doing way too much damage, so they nerfed that, so we expected that. Can't be too salty about it. You should have played it when it was OP. You can't play it anymore. Necromancer. Fixed an issue where Necromancers could not obtain daggers from the Purveyor of Curiosities. Fixed an issue where the Necromancer minions would have their life bonuses deactivated while in town. Fixed an issue where Bone Sphere cast through Chilling Wind from an elite enemy would increase the number of generated echoes for that cast. Fixed an issue where Enhanced Bone Sphere would cause erratic movement. And then fixed an issue where canceling Blood Mist when it's already off cooldown would immediately recast it. Fixed an issue where Enhanced Bone Sphere could cause erotic movement. God, that doesn't say erotic, that said erratic. We're not getting all erotic while we're playing our... Well, maybe some of you guys are getting erotic when you're playing Bone Sphere Necromancer. Your bones are very spearful and stuff like that. What else is going on over here? Rogue fixed an issue where Shadow Step wouldn't trigger the aspect of Uncanny Treachery if the target was killed. Fixed an issue where Advanced Penetrating Shot would not knock down other players in PvP play. Fixed an issue where Twisting Blades would not come back when the ability killed a bloated corpse-fiend enemy. Fixed an issue where the dash skill would not move the full distance of targeting an enemy while using a controller. Fixed an issue where the Eldritch Bounty Paragon node granted bonus resistances incorrectly. Fixed an issue where Rapid Fire had an extra arrow VFX that behaved erratically, or erotically like chat would say. And then fixed an issue where Awakening Glyphstone wouldn't spawn for rogue players using improved barrage. Interesting. I had slow as internet. I got good internet. I got fiber, but it's like it's going really, really slow right now. Sork fixed an issue where Fireball enchantment effect did not contribute to the Combustion Keepstone passive. I remember hearing Crip complain about that. Fixed an issue where the passive stacks generated by Align the Elements could partially reset in an unexpected way. Fixed an issue where casting Deep Freeze would prevent the Ice Shard enchantment effect from triggering. Fixed an issue where Aspect Control was applying a damage bonus 3 times for staggered bosses. So this is, I believe this is the Blizzard nerf, right? This is the Blizzard slash Aspect nerf, right? So apparently it was applying 3 times. And they're not going to be doing as crazy of damage. But guys, since they nerf certain aspects of Sork, they're going to buff other things, right? Fix an issue where Gravitational Aspect was appearing weaker on 2-handed weapons or amulets. Fix an issue where the enchantment effect for Chain Lightning had no visual tracking bonus and it could also unexpectedly drop off. And fixed an issue where Incinerate would immediately cost 30 mana when cast in addition to the consistent channeling mana cost. Incinerate now properly only costs mana as it's being channeled. So yeah, just random fixes. And also like some nerfs for classes. Sork, basically Blizzard nerfed, Blizzard build nerfed, Rogue some stuff. Necromancer, some bug fixes, Druids. Shred build nerfed. Hoda Barbs nerfed too and stuff. What are this? Quest and event. So this is just quest and event fixes over here. Where's all the buffs at? Like, I'm actually, real talk. Where are the actual buffs? I'm hoping that there are buffs, and this is not just an entire. I hope this is not just a nerf. I hope this is not like an entire just nerf patch only. Okay. So we got a lot more to read, boys. Here we go. I was looking for the buffs. That's why I was scrolling down. I was cheating. General, fix multiple instances where players could unnaturally teleport during boss encounters. Fix an issue where chests in the Western ways could be interacted with infinitely. I saw people doing that. It was like a chest glitch, and like it was just like what? It was just spewing out a bunch of items and stuff. Fix an issue where the airman NPC couldn't be interacted with in certain situations. Fix an issue where otherwise breakable objects in the world would not be broken when evading through them. Fix multiple instances where the player could avoid damage from bosses if they position themselves in a very specific location. Fix an issue where forged relics cannot be interacted with. Fix an issue where monsters with the cold, bleeding, burning, or corruption affix would freeze players in one hit a nightmare dungeon with the cold enchanted affix. Hey, I think that's a little bit of a nerf for an overperforming affix that was bugged. Fix an issue where cold enchanted monsters froze players more often than intended in higher world tiers. Cold enchanted finally fixed, no longer bugged. And fix an issue where a chest could spawn that would provide infinite loot. Infinite loot glitch also fixed. So yeah, about time they fixed cold enchanted. It was very overperforming to the point where you would just delete every key that had cold enchanted. Helltide and Field of Hatred changes. Hopefully some nice buffs here. Fix an issue where the player could be damaged by Helltide Firestorm while standing in town. Survivability buff, I guess. Fix an issue where enemies resurrected by shamans would continuously drop a Barren Cinder than Helltide. Fix an issue where chain lightning could bounce infinitely between the caster and other player characters standing in Field of Hatred's town. Wow. Fix an issue where crackling energy could hit other players in Field of Hatred town. We know, shocking. Fix an issue where players cannot see other players that they should when re-entering the Alzuda Fields of Hatred zone. Alzuda. And fix an issue where certain areas in the Field of Hatred would be incorrectly flagged to the town, rendering players unable to cast skills while still being able to be damaged. Fuck, I thought they were actually going to buff something. They didn't give us a single buff there. It was just bug fixes again. Items and aspect, let's keep them going. Fix an issue where the cost reduction bonus from Ring of Starless Skies could unexpectedly drop off. I've never seen this item in my entire life. I wouldn't know. Fix an issue where the Aspect Protector would trigger its barrier effect while destroying a breakable object. Fix an issue where the Ring of Misfortune had incorrect stats. Fix an issue where the Ember Staff weapon didn't apply the bonus damage to crowd control enemies, which is inherent for all stab type weapons. You wouldn't gain the implicit modifier. Or Ember Staffs. Oh. That's a good fix. It's nice to have all your damage multipliers working. Fix an issue where any character menu interaction would reset the bonus granted by Intercom. Fix an issue where the maximum life affix on the Mark of Conclave quest item was scaling improperly. Fix an issue where aspect power would also increase when... No! Guys! Integer affixes, aspects nerfed. You can't increase their power before you extract anymore. No! My character power. Okay, so now you don't have to upgrade your aspects before you extract anymore. You just extract? Well, I thought that was a feature, not a bug. Well, apparently it was a bug. Okay, now actually some good changes. Level requirement for sacred items now capped at 60. So how this works is if you're playing a character right, you're in World Tier 3 at level 48. When the item drops, right, it'll be based on your character level. When you get to level 61, you find a sacred item, it'll be level 60 maximum. So, like, whenever you find something you could, like, put in your stash, use it on other characters, easier, also easier to trade. And then ancestral item, equipable levels capped at 80. So same exact thing there. I think this should be like lower though. I don't know why it's level 80. This should be like level 70. It should be the same level that they recommend for your world tier 4. That kind of makes more sense, right? I think 70 makes more sense. Or even like 73, because 73 is when you're able to gain gamble ancestral items from the Purveyor of Curiosity. This is a lot better than it was before, because when you're farming before, right, you're on your max level character, you'd get like a cool item and you're like, let's make a build around this. in order to use that item under character, you had to level up to 100 first. So these two changes are a lot better than what they previously had. Fixed an issue where the Mother Embrace unique ring did not trigger properly with several abilities. Okay. Monsters now. Fixed an issue where items of higher power than intended were dropping from rare monsters. Oh, so I thought that was intended. So the named monsters in the open world actually weren't supposed to be dropping? Like those 825 things, those 840 things? That was actually unintended. I thought that was intended because the items weren't really that good, right? They're like a starting point item, right? They only had like 3 affixes. They're missing a whole affix. I thought that was actually intended. But basically the mobs, now the unique mobs in the overworld, outside of, you're just going to use them to farm materials for potions and elixirs. Question mark. You guys don't know about these. Okay, so there's named rare monsters that spawn all around the open world. I literally have a chart here, right? So these are the named monsters. These are the location. Each named monster in each zone will drop certain crafting materials that you use to craft elixirs and like incense and stuff. And you would go around to these static spawn locations. You would kill these mobs, and they always dropped like a rare item. And sometimes it rolled like above 820. You'll get like an 840 item. But they only had 3 affixes. They didn't have 4. But yeah, them rolling above 820 was actually a nerf. It was actually a nerf, not... Yeah, it was just not intended. Yeah, so they just nerfed it. Okay, so anyways, yeah, unique rare monsters... Bug fixed, which is a nerf. Fixed an issue where the warg's jumping attack dealt no damage when passing through the player. Fixed an issue where the pitiless Gur monster would endlessly run around in circles. Fixed an issue where the lightning enhanced champion Goatman would fail to deal damage to the player. Okay, I never noticed that. Fixed an issue where monsters with the suppressor affix would be immune to damage from abilities that started initially outside the immunity circle. Example, when a barbarian started a whirlwind cast before getting within proper range. Also, like, same thing with like bleed build or thorn build. You'd like stand inside there and your damage just wouldn't trigger. So this suppressor fix is really, really nice for player quality of life because sometimes, yeah, you just wouldn't do damage when you're supposed to be doing damage. Fixed an issue where clones of a monster with the suppressor affix could also have the suppressor affix. Okay, so like the suppressor stacking, that was like a fix. Fixed an issue where treasure goblins would behave erratically if initially engaged from a long distance. And then fixed multiple other issues where monster behavior could not perform properly and could be exploited in some cases. People are exploiting monster behavior. What does that mean? Maybe like the butcher, like cutting them around like edges and getting them stuck there. Quests and events. So some fixes here also. Fixed an issue where the progress bar could not fill during the caravan under siege event. Fixed an issue where the putrid remains enemies could remain idle during the defiled ground event. Fixed an issue where champion enemies could not spawn during the ancient obelisk event. Fixed multiple issues where using traversals could cause a lead and boss monster to disappear during multiple events. Fixed an issue where radiant and greater radiant chests would not spawn when completing the fearful bones event. Fixed an issue where the cursed chest event could not be completed. Oh, man, I hope there's some good busts in these patch notes. These patch notes have been I don't see anything really getting people excited in these patch notes yet. Bro, I haven't seen like anything where people are like, man, this is sweet. This is just random shit. This is just random shit so far. So we want to read through the bug fixes because the bug fixes are important, right? It's good to know what bugs are fixed, right? Fixed an issue where defiled ground, even in Ozar, could have a respawn point much further away than intended. Fixed an issue where unique drowned enemies spawn during events and the Forgotten Coastline could be invulnerable to damage. Fixed an issue where the suppressor monster affixes effect would be active on containers and furniture inside the dungeon during the Remnants quest. Fixed an issue where the player could teleport through the ancient gate and block progression during the Storming Gates quest. Fixed an issue where progression could be blocked during the Flesh and Blood quest. I don't even know I've never experienced some of these bugs ever before. Fixed an issue where the quest dungeon did not reset if an associated quest would abandoned. Fixed an issue where the quest tracker could be missing if the players re-enter the game during the picking through the bones quest.
Wow.
Fixed an issue where not enough monsters would spawn to fulfill the requirements for completing the Hungering Necrolight's cache quest. Fixed an issue where an enemy was missing when progressing through the Lost Archive dungeon during the Legacy of the Magi quest. Fixed an issue where the immemorial inscription could not be read during the Augury of Bones quest. Immemorial inscription. What the hell quest is that? Immemorial inscription during the Augury of Bones quests. Immemorial inscription quests. What is this? The Augury of Bones. Let me look it up real quick. Augury of Bones quest. It's a side quest in Dry Steppes. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done this before, to be honest with you. Fix an issue where the player character couldn't face to speak to an NPC when initiating dialogue from multiple quests. Fix an issue where the ghost body of Bakira could remain visible after being defeated during the True Potential Rogue class quest. Fix an issue where outside party members could influence the regression of the Bad Blood quest. Fix an issue where the player could be blocked from re-entering the boss area after dying during the fight against Elias in the Piercing the Veil quest. And fix various other issues where quest regression could be blocked. Okay, and then we also got some user interface and user experience changes too. Fix an issue where the minimap didn't accurately depict the game world during the blind quest. So guys, it's actually a majority of the patch notes literally just crappy bug fixes. Like they tease 6,600 words on Twitter showing how massive the patch is, and it literally is the entire patch basically just bug fixes. Okay guys, let me do something real quick. Control F, fixed. 246 instances of fixed. Bro, I'm gonna be like one of those TikTok NPCs. Fix the issue, fix the issue, fix the issue, fix the issue, fix the issue. What the fuck, bro? What do you mean 246 fix the issue things? Goddamn.
These are now Walson patch notes. Fixed a bug, fixed a bug, fixed a bug easy.
We got a couple more fix the issues I think to go. We're getting to the better patch notes soon. User interface. Fixed an issue where the minimap didn't accurately depict the game world during the third Blind Eye quest. Fixed an issue where the map was incomplete for the... What are these? Like, what? They should have, like, separate patch notes for fixed issues. Fixed an issue where a portion of the map was invisible in the Exalter Terrace dungeon. Fixed an issue where the Mad Bomber tile would not display for enemies encountered through the Whisper of the same name. Fixed an issue where articles and the newsfeed could not be opened using mouse and keyboard. Fixed an issue where the you have crossplay enabled message was being sent to chat each time a campaign quest objective was completed. Hey, I always thought something was going on there. I was wondering why that was spamming my chat. This is actually a good fix. You're randomly not going to get that crossplay notification all the time. The cult leader Paragon passive no longer appears above hostile minions in PvP. Something got redacted. I think there was supposed to be something here, but it got redacted. Fixed an issue where the bonus from the ballistics aspect displayed +0 to skill instead of +2 on the bonus bar. Okay, fixed an issue where sigil sorting was inconsistent between inventory and the stash. Fixed an issue where the social tab on the action wheel editing window would be skipped when navigating on controller. Fixed an issue where the amount of gold would not properly display when trading gold in large quantities. Yeah, but you can't carry Uber bosses anymore. You have to do Uber bosses solo for the achievement. So I guess with the new required item levels for gear, there'll probably be more trading, right, for GG gear. But no more boss carries anymore. You got 1.5 billion gold from your friend. Fixed an issue where item comparison numbers would be inaccurate if the item in question had a gem socket that granted a stat that was also present on the base of the item. Fixed an issue where images would not properly load in the newsfeed on the main menu. Fixed multiple issues with the map pin functionality. Okay, that's good. Fixed multiple issues where the quests and whispered markers weren't displaying properly. Various improvements to the consistency and clarity of messaging, skill description, and tooltips. Various other UI and UX improvements. And then we got some miscellaneous changes here too. Fixed an issue where the completion music for defeating Avarice would start playing before the boss was defeated.
Fixed an issue Kekleo, fixed an issue Kekleo, fixed an issue Kekleo, fixed an issue Kekleo, fixed an issue.
Okay, boys. Yo, thanks for the subs too. I'll call it all out later on. Flo, thanks to the Prime Gamer. Draco, thanks for the 14 months. Prob1, thanks for the brand new Q1. Hey, Mr. Nice Guy. Patch notes time. Let's go.
Fixed an issue Kekleo.
And a Big Rick, thanks for the brand new Prime Gamer. And literally, Jen, thank you very much for the 3-month Prime Gamer. Okay. I'm really hoping there's some good changes. Fixed an issue where players couldn't send Battle.net friend requests to friends playing on console. Fixed an issue where players could confirm if hardcore mode was enabled after logging in with a new character. Fixed an issue where players that haven't unlocked a higher world tier could be invited into a higher world tier party. So that's like a little bit of a boosting nerf, but you can still boost people. So they didn't like totally fix boosting yet. Fixed an issue where players couldn't transfer leadership of a clan. Fixed an issue where the sender of the party invite would not be informed that the invite failed due to incompatibility with campaign prologue progress. Fixed an issue where Nafian Spear would duplicate in the cutscene where the player picks it. Nafian Spear. Who the hell is Nafian? Is that like an NPC when you're leveling? Fixed an issue where Mashif's camel made no noise. Camel buff. Fix an issue where there was no sound where Lorath kicks Mashif awake, and various other improvements. There's someone there that literally had a voice act camel noises, or they just went in real life and they recorded a camel. Think about that, right? If someone actually had to go and make camel noises or record a camel making noises. What noise does a camel even make?
They used ChatGPT to make patch notes for them.
Is it that bad? Okay, so